Just a quick legal disclaimer, I did receive this heatsink as a review sample with the only expectation that I make a video on it. And in this video I'm going to show how to install it on a LGA 1700 board. Now the packaging doesn't, and the instructions don't mention the 1851 socket, but the website says it's compatible, so I'm assuming that the 1851 is probably also the same as the 1700. And the documentation is kind of limited on how to install it, but you need a handful of parts. You need the screw labeled D, which is the Intel screw. It's the one that doesn't have the groove in it around the top. And you need the mounting bracket, obviously labeled C. You need the spacer I, which are these hexagonal looking ones, if my camera will focus. So you can see how they look like a little hexagon. And obviously you'll need the back plate, and the back plate is labeled. So this one here is the correct back plate. See how it says LGA 17XX. So that's the LGA 1700 one. And unfortunately this board is dead, otherwise it'd be a really nice build, but it's going to be my guinea pig for showing how to do this. I really wish this i9 1300K was good, but apparently it died along with the board, so I don't know. And here is the back of the board with the socket. And it doesn't really show which way to mount it. Okay, that way it looks better. See how the holes line up? The screws for the socket's retention bracket. Versus this way, they don't line up correctly. So this would go like this. Now, I didn't show it, but there's these little white tabs here. And for adhesive strips, you would remove those before installation and then attach it to the back of the socket support bracket. If there's adhesive on it from a previous mount, you probably would want to clean that up just so you don't mess up the spacing. But for this test install, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick it on there. And I found it's easier to install the socket support with the board sitting flat like this. That way you can set your spacers on top of the various points. Like so. And then you can work with your mounting bracket for the heatsink. And as the manual shows, this little mounting screw goes away from the socket. And I believe with this socket, the screws go in the outside holes like so. Oops. Just messed it up. And I'm going to find those threads. It's a little tricky. Definitely don't want to cross thread them, because that'll make it hard to remove. And once you get them started thread-wise, you'll want to tighten them down. Not super tight to the point where you damage the board, but tight enough where everything's nice and snug. I won't be putting thermal paste on this since this isn't a final install for me, but you will want to put thermal paste on there. Also, you may want to install the memory before you install the heatsink, just because you might run into clearance issues depending on your board. So those should be fairly tight now. And when you install the heatsink, You need to be mindful of these two screws here. The long screwdriver included goes all the way down through there. So this will go on top like this. It's a little tricky to see what you're doing. Depending on your case, you may want to install the heatsink after you install the board, but since I don't feel like mounting this board in a case, I'm just going to mount the heatsink to the board. And one handy trick with this, when you're screwing them in, you want to rotate the screwdriver a couple times counterclockwise. Usually once is enough, but do it twice if you need to until you hear that click. And that lets you know that the threads should be in alignment for when you tighten them down. And just start on one side first and get a couple threads engaged, and then switch the other side. And then once you got both sides with the screws engaged, you can tighten them down. I kind of alternate a little, do a little bit on each one. Oops. Alright. It's kind of hard to tell if your screwdriver's in the head correctly sometimes. But, oops. Tighten down like so. There we go. That's nice and tight. And now you need to connect your cables. These have little Y splitters on them, so you can just plug them into each other. That way you only have to plug in one. Oops. There we go. Pins weren't quite lined up. But yeah, and then from there you can plug it into the board however you need to. And just so you know, whichever fan plugs into the board, that one's going to get the PWM sense, since that pin doesn't pass through to the connector. So whichever fan you want more accurate control of, that's the one you're going to plug into the board. For the ARGB, it doesn't matter so much which one goes where, since I believe the same signals pass through. But hopefully that's helpful, and thanks for watching.